Hi, in this video we're going to continue our complex array mapping. If you recall the last map we implemented, we took customer orders, which has some customer information, and then it's an array of customers with customer information, and then each customer also has a subarray of orders. And in the orders there's a status, and we were able to implement that without a for loop using a simple map component in the last video. And if I show that, we basically took our customer orders, and we mapped that to our simple customer orders. And basically we just did some field renaming, and here we have a multi-step function where we took the first name and last name and made it a full name. But we're able to map this subarray to this subarray, orders to purchases. Now in this example we're going to make this slightly more complicated, and we're going to take the same orders data and we're going to map it to something a little bit more complex. So again, we're going to map it to a client's array, except instead of having a shipments or whatever it was here, purchases, we're going to have three subarrays: a delivered orders, a canceled orders, and a shipped orders. So based on the status, we're going to create up to three subarrays. And here you see two of them are empty, and here's the shipped orders. Here there's one per each: shipped, delivered, and canceled. Here there's delivered, no canceled. Here's shipped and no canceled or delivered. So we're going to try to do that, and we will not be able to do it with a regular map component. So we're going to introduce the IMAP. So first, if we recall, if we look here, we do have our customer order data, excuse me, as a string. And then the next map component, the next component is a JSON parser. We map that using the customer orders data object, and it gives us our customer orders data. All right, so what do we need to do? So the first thing we'll do is we'll create a complex, we'll create a mapped customer orders complex. So let me copy that name. We need a data object for that. All right, so here's the customer orders. Here is the map customer orders simple, and let's do a complex now. And here's our complex. And let's take a look at that. You see it's an array of clients with three subarrays. All right. So that's good. And now let's create a variable off of that data object, and we're going to take complex. I'm going to call that complex. And we'll save that. And let me disable those. So we've declared some objects here, and actually I'll leave this JSON parser because this is mapping my customer orders. I'm going to just disable this map component, which generates the mapped simple. So what we need is an IMAP called a data mapper. And let's expand this, and we don't have one yet, so let's create one. Complex data mapper. Excuse me. All right, so the input is going to be a customer order, and the output is going to be a complex. And I can just leave them as documents. So there's that. Let's expand that. Now, we've done this in another video using the data mapper to do this complex subarray. And if you recall, the first thing we did was we created a loop on customers. So let me copy that path a second. Let's create a loop here. And I'll call this customer loop. And that's the path, and let's go inside of that and recall this syntax. We can see that we are inside this customer loop, and what we're going to do here is we're going to grab customer ID to ID. We've seen this before, and we are going to add a full name multi-step function where it takes the first name and last name and produces a full name. So let's save that. Okay. Let's go back inside here. And now what we need to do is I'm going to do the same thing 3 times. I'm going to loop over orders. So let me copy that. And for shipped orders, let's create a loop. Call it shipped orders loop. And we'll loop over orders. Let's go inside of that. And we're going to take order ID to purchase ID, order date to date, amount to amount. And you see we're in the shipped orders loop. Let's save that. And now what I want to do is click the properties here and add a condition. And the condition is where status, status equals shipped. And save that, and let's save. Okay, let's try to save this and let's run it and see how that works. So let's select this map, complex data mapper, and the input will be my customer orders, which is right here, and my output customer complex. Here's clients, and here's clients. So if I did this right, I should at least get my shipped orders. Let's take a look. And if I come down here, complex, clients, I've got 5, that's good. And here I've got shipped orders, and I've got 1. Well, let's see, is that right? So A100, was that shipped? So let's look here. There's 2 orders. A100 was shipped. Okay, that's a good sign. Let's come down here to number 1. Shipped orders also has 1, and that's B202. Let's take a look at that one. So it's got 3. Let's look at B202. Oh, is that one shipped? No, that's delivered. That one's canceled, and that one was shipped. Great. So I think we're in good shape. Let's now try to finish this. Let's come into the complex data mapper. Let's expand these again, and let's do the other 2 loops. All right, so let's go inside the customer loop, and now again let me copy the path here. Copy path, and what we're going to do is for delivered, we're going to create a loop called delivered orders loop. And we're looping over the orders. And again, same thing, order ID, purchase ID, date, amount. Save this. And let's set the property. Again, we're going to take status and make sure that it equals delivered. Let's save that. All right, let me save. Come back into clients, repeat, copy the path. Let's do our final loop here. So this is canceled orders loop. And let's go inside of that. And again, order ID, purchase ID, order date, amount. Let's save that and close it. Oh, no, I closed the wrong one. Now oh, I didn't save that. How did that happen? Okay, I made a mistake here. Copy path, loop, canceled orders loop. Huh, I don't know how that happened. Order date, amount, Mount and then save. Aha, there we go. And then let me copy the path, and now let's set the property here. I want the status to equal canceled. Save and save and save. And at this point, unless I made a mistake, this should all work. Let's run this one more time. So let's take a look at this step, and let's look at our data. So let me open up document, customers. Let's look at the first customer. So they've got 2 orders, one that's shipped and one that is processing. Now we're not looking at processing, we're looking at shipped, canceled, and delivered. So now let's look at our complex. Let's come down here, client, the first client. They have 1 order already, that's a good sign, and it's shipped, and this is the order that was shipped, purchase ID A100. Okay, now let's go to the second one here. They've got 3 orders, so I see a delivered, I see a canceled, I see a shipped. So here I should have 1 of each. Yep, that's a good sign. So this was the shipped order, so that's B202. Okay, so that's looking good. I guess we could skip right down to the end here. It's looking good. And the last client has 2 orders. They have a processing, which we're not capturing, and a delivered. So we'll come down here, look at the last one. It's got a delivered, it only has 1. And we are all set. So here you saw how for a complex subarray of a document array mapping, we used the data mapper, and it actually made it quite easy to loop over our data without using loop components and map components. We did it all in one data mapper. Thank you.